Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. And we're back with the Cindy Cochran Show. And now, Cindy Cochran.
That just gave me chills. Wow, Richard. And we are sponsored by
The Wootton Financial Group.
And their phone number is...
Let's see if she can do it. 936-449-5952. I'm pretty sure I know that number more than my mom's number.
Your mom.
So that is 936-449-5952. You know, I was thinking about Chris the other day.
You were.
Today's show isn't Ask Me Anything, so feel free to join us on Facebook and YouTube, Lone Star Community Radio, and type in a comment, and I'll relay it to Cindy. But I was thinking about Chris, and with all this talk about buying Greenland and buying or doing Canada or whatever, I would be like, I kind of go, hey, Chris, what kind of investment, if you could buy a country,
yeah,
what country would you buy that you know that would be like a good place for an investment?
What would you sign me up for an investment? You know, because he has to look around for different things.
To invest
in
your money and do your portfolio. There's some wild things you can invest in.
I know. That's true. But, you know, I just wanted to invest in DoorDash, and I thought that would be plenty because that has just blown up.
DoorDash. I this morning, and you can hear it tomorrow, I interviewed these folks from the, I forgot what it's called already, but it's an apartment complex right there by the Social Security office on Sergeant Holcomb. Mm-hmm. And she's young. And we were talking about food and, like, you know, she said she was a homebody. And I was like, oh, so you cook and everything? No, I don't. She's like, I was like, so all you do is DoorDash? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I can't imagine my entire meal providing coming. Can you imagine that coming from DoorDash?
Can I imagine? That's what happens at the, the Cochran Combs Palace.
Well, I mean, that's...
But we're trying to wean ourselves off of it, but it's addictive. It's so addictive because it's just, all you have to do is just, call and say, bring me this.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I was in a relationship, I remember the food thing was always kind of I don't want to, how to put it, like, it was always a confrontation to figure out what we wanted to eat.
Well, that's why
and
DoorDash, you can...
we did those... The meal things where you make the meals at home when it comes in, like you can do 5 days. Those are really good in a pinch.
Yeah.
And we lived really close to the HEB, so I was like, hey, we can just go to HEB the day of. Like, I'm on my way home. I can just, like, whatever you want, I'll make it. Like, I'm the cook. I'm clearly the cook in that relationship. And that wasn't a good solution for that person. She's like, no, we'll DoorDash or we'll do. I'm like, why would I want to spend 20% more on something? And then I'll just go to the grocery store the day of. We don't have to spend $500 at the grocery store.
Yeah.
We can just spend $20 here because we're going to eat what we get. Yeah. We're not going to just get all the stuff and then it goes bad.
Now, see, that's what makes sense to me because I can't tell you how much stuff that I would go to the grocery store and get for everybody. And then at time to put trash out, I start having to take stuff out and throw it away.
It's gross because you have to, like, do a full deep clean of the fridge.
Well, no, you're right.
Yeah, because imagine if everything you put in that fridge is taken out that day. Every time you put something in, it's like whatever you put in is going to be taken out, besides the condiments and stuff.
Yeah.
And because that was one thing that like I always talk to my mom about, because she cooks a lot. And if you took every cabinet in her kitchen, there's something in the cabinet that's used for cooking. Like spices, or, she has like 6 different types of flours, different machines or different utensils. And it's all like, you could make anything. You can make pasta there. You can bake a pie. She has everything you would ever think of. And then you go to the fridge, and the fridge has like nothing in it. and it's like, well, why don't we make something? I don't know. We'll go to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, no, like we could. And that's one thing I love about my brother John. He bought a cow at the last, I guess it's not the Houston Livestock, wherever he lives, but he bought a cow for, supporting the FFA, and then he gave me all his meat. So it's just like, oh, let's cook this roast. Let's cook this. So I'm like, all his meat.
I thought he bought a cow, they have a moo cow out.
No, you bid on cows, and then
they send you the meat
they
from
process it for you, and it's all fun. It's all for scholarship for the kids.
Oh, okay.
So that's been great. He got a lot. Whoever that kid is lucky. He probably got like $20,000.
Really?
So, yeah.
From raising, I don't know how they let go of it, because that's like having a dog,
No, it's not.
Okay, yes, it is. Because the cows are so sweet, and
You don't want to eat it?
no, well, I don't want to know that's what I'm eating. I love steak. I love
I'm
all
okay with that.
But
Like,
I questioned
dog would be weird, but there's a reason why we don't eat dog, is it doesn't taste good. If dog tasted delicious, we would be eating dog. It's kind of like the baby calves, like the veal and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
But and lamb, like people. I remember my nephew got lamb. He raised the lamb, and we killed it.
And he killed it?
No, we bid on it, as our family did that.
Oh.
So we got all this lamb meat, and it's delicious. And I'm like, man, lamb is the best. And
It
then,
is?
oh yeah, it's so good. But then you think of that pretty old ma, and it's like, you're dead. I want to eat you.
Oh, what about the poor little deer?
There's one of my favorite YouTube channels, and I encourage everyone to check this guy out. His name's Stale Cracker, and he's from Louisiana. And it's like I would say it's primarily a cooking channel, but he cooks the weirdest stuff, like iguana.
Like what?
Iguana.
Iguana? Oh.
Yeah, and like he cooks iguana, he cooks squirrel, and then he also cooks like gumbo and like normal like.
And what do people say it tastes like? Not chicken. When everything doesn't taste like chicken, but what? How would you describe?
Well, it's weird. When I was watching the iguana episode, he went to Florida, and apparently they're like an overpopulated species out there. So he went hunting with like pellet rifles, like high-end pellet rifles, and they were killing iguanas like everywhere. And he was cooking them. And when he was stripping the skin off, I was like, that's not any meat. Like the amount of work
that you take
for that.
You're right.
Then again, you can probably make a stew or something, and that'd be a lot easier. You don't have to actually like take apart anything. But same thing with crab. I had this argument with one of my friends. We got a shared plate of their seafood boil. So it was like crawfish, shrimp, sausage, mushrooms, and crab. And she's like, "Do you want any crab?" I'm like, "No. There's so much food here. That's too much work."
Too much work. I
was
just
like,
gonna say,
like
you're
crawfish
right.
is fun to eat. I'm down with that. It's quick and done. But like,
my mother would love that. She'd take it and break the head off of it
suck
and
on it.
suck the stuff out of it. Yeah.
But yeah, and I was like, no. I'm like, crab's great, but it's like I don't get it. Like it's too much work.
But when they said like the shrimp, somebody said this, like the roaches of the sea.
Shrimp are good too.
And I wish they never said that, because it just every time I step on a roach, I think, when you crack a,
How are they the roaches of the sea? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's just because there's so many.
So many, and
they eat the plankton. That's what they
low. Well, yes, it's what they eat that you wouldn't want to.
Well, they eat like the
serve 'em.
smallest thing that you can eat in the ocean.
I don't. What is a smelt? What is the fish? Is a smelt, and that's what they're saying is causing, California fires not to be put out soon because they rerouted the water and to go.
There's Smelt Row.
They built dams and dammed off water that went into the sea because it was hurting
a capelin fish.
The smelt. Is it SM?
Well, when I typed in smelt fish.
Just sounds so weird. But they're mad about it.
It's a small fish. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like little teeny fish, and he rerouted the whole water and dammed up stuff, and so that the water that they used to save up water and have water in the hydrants, and now they're talking about all the hydrants are dry. They don't have water in them, so they can't even use the water coming out of the hydrant.
Whatever.
Do
they know what started the fire, or it just happened?
They think it was it was in a neighborhood. It wasn't something from, and it could have been.
Can you imagine that poor soul? I told you it's funny. I was hanging out with my buddy.
Who's going to ever admit to that?
No, so we're sitting there hanging out with my buddies during the day after New Year's, and he works for an electrical company around here. And one of his workers or buddies, I don't really know if he's like his boss or whatever, calls like, "Hey, can I stop by? I just need a place to hang out until we go have dinner with my wife." So I just didn't really want to drive all the way back with the truck and then drive all the way, back there because he's in the bucket truck. And he's like, "Hey, I came back. I just got done with this neighborhood, and it was my parents' neighborhood." And I was like, "Whoa, what was going on there?" He's like, "Oh, this garage burnt down." And I was like, "Why would they call the electrical company for like a burnt garage?" He's like, "Oh, we needed to shut power down for the road because it got really bad." I was like, "Oh, well, what caused it?" And like, we don't really know. They did fireworks the day before, so no one really knows. But he's like, but it was pretty surreal where you see they had like a Lexus SUV that was just melted all the way around. Like every piece of plastic on the car was just melted.
Oh.
And the thing had started inside the garage, but they swear it wasn't fireworks because they did all the fireworks the night before, and this was at like 4 p.m., right? So there's no way that fire was up for that long.
It wasn't a thunder strike. I mean, like a lightning strike.
No,
or anything.
No. And then I go, you know what I bet it was?
What?
I bet it was one of the kids found a firework that wasn't finished and was like, "Oh, I want to set this off," and didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And it just.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Our neighbor across the street. I don't think I told you this. He said, I was in the house and I heard these two booms. It sounded like an explosion. I mean, it was explosive. It wasn't like a backfire of a car or anything. And so I walked out the front. I just walked out the front like, where'd that come from? The neighbors were coming out of their houses trying to find out. And the guy on the end said, "It's two teenage," and he called them some names, and then he said they took these. He called them like a mortar. He said they took a mortar,
mortar rounds,
and threw it into the culvert. Culvert, and that's what caused it. And he said, and when they saw me, they took off running, and man, I wish I had my like the Ring camera on or whatever could have caught him.
Kids do that,
but that's horrible. Somebody's so stupid to do something like that. But anyway, I can't stand. I really don't like the fireworks. They should have like okay, everybody's got to stop doing that at 10 o'clock. But they keep doing it. And the people that are right behind us, it sounded like they were taking things and throwing it at my window. But I know it's just the
that's
vibration.
Just annoying neighbors. What I love about that is, especially after 4th of July and around here, it's like it'll be going on for 10 days afterwards. But if you catch somebody doing it, like, unless you're going to get physical with them, you can't really do anything. Like,
this guy, I think he was a former Marine. That's what he looks like. And like he would have chased him down. And that'd been
what I'm saying. That's the only thing you can call the cops. But by the time the cops get there, it's like they're already gone. Or it's like you're setting fireworks. So it's only for a little while. Because like my dog is like hates fireworks.
Oh, yes.
She will get under the bed, and it's just like goes crazy. So I have a special vest for her that's called like a Thunder Buddy.
Oh, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, they're great.
Maddie's the
they're
same,
great. It's
same
weird because
way.
it like comatoses them.
Is
or,
what?
or Freddie. When I put it on Freddie just goes like limp, and it was just like, all right, I'm okay, and it just sits there. It's like it's kind of frightening because I feel like I'm suffocating her, but she just doesn't move, and I was like, all right, I guess you're fine, like. So she just whatever you put it on her boots, it just falls over. It's like because Freddie's pretty easily agitated, but she's, for example, if I'm in my room and I'm playing a game or working or doing something for like long periods of time, so say I'm there for an hour, 2 hours on the computer, like beep, 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 she will move spots. Probably for 2 hours, she'll probably move once every 15 minutes, and like just move.
Just because you're playing, you're not.
I don't know.
Attention
I don't
to
know. I mean, I'm just. That's what she'll get on the bed. She'll be by me. She'll get my feet. She'll go by the door. She'll go in the bathroom. That's the new spot that I do not like. If she like curls up next to the toilet.
Oh my word!
It's really weird.
Well, I thought saw Maddie go into the bathroom, and I said, "Where are you going?" I'm sitting right here, and I just watched her, and she went in the bathroom, and then she went where the toilet was, so I knew she was getting water.
Yeah.
Oh, and that made me sick. And I thought,
I have buddies that use the toilet as their water bowl.
they use the toilet as their water.
Yeah, so like when you go into the house, I learned that like because usually when I use the restroom, I shut the door behind me.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, man, don't leave the door closed." And I was like, "Oh, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, the dogs use that for water." And I was like, "Damn, that's awesome." I liked it. I was like,
Okay. Well, we had one dog that did that. We didn't know it, and I came by one of the bathrooms, and it was all leaned over and it had its head down there, and I'm going, "Oh, he's drinking the water out." So I took a picture of it.
you know, you would do that if you were desperate.
If you were dying of thirst.
Yeah, because I always took that as a sign, especially with Freddie. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Freddie drink out of the toilet. But then again, like 90% of the time, I have a water bowl filled for her at all times.
Right. Yeah.
So
but not Maddie, because there's 4 of us, but I think I'm the only one that does it consistently, but the others will once in a while. But poor thing, I mean, she doesn't do anything she'll come to me and kind of whine a little bit, and I go, "Oh, do you have to go outside? Do you want water? What do you want?" And I have to wait till her tail starts, wagging, and I go, "Oh, okay," and she'll tell me she has to go out there and do number 2, number 1, or whatever. And I don't say the number. I ask her what she needs to do. But
you ever met a dog that poops on command?
Poops on command?
Yeah, I had a friend who had like a small little mutt. I don't know, it's a tiny dog. But he would have magic words for the dog, and it was wild. He was like, "Hey, watch this." He's like, "Hey, Kevin, do your business. Do your business." Boom. He would just stop immediately and just do his business.
Now I have seen people walk that have to walk their dogs
Yeah.
because they live in apartments and stuff, and they go out to where the grass is, and they tell them that. They go, "Go poop. Go now.
I'll do it.
And they stop.
Oh, yeah.
And
Because I asked him, I was like, "What happens when he doesn't need to? Does he like feel pressure?" He's like, "What do I'll work it out. I'm gonna."
Well, I mean, you got to know your dog pretty well and what they've eaten and how long ago they ate and all that. But
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you act like if someone else tries to make the dog do it, it's
Yeah.
like, but there's nothing in me. I'm giving it all I can. Yeah, but
but Maddie tries to talk to me. She really does, and I know people say that they understand their dogs, and those dogs that have the blue eyes, and they do a lot of reels on them, and they're talking, like having a conversation with the owner, and I would try and get Maddie to do that, and I said, "Maddie, okay, do you need to go poop? Tell me. You need to go poop? You need to go poop?"
Oh,
Let me
yeah.
say, "Okay," and she'll bark if she needs to go poop. She'll whine if she just needs to go TT. And
yeah, I mean, I would bark too. Because when you got to go TT, you can kind of hold it. And you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm under
but
under
right
a
now,
little pressure." But then when I need to, like,
when she barks, like, "So you got to go poop," and she gets up and she
Good for her.
goes to the door
Good
and
for
says, "Come
her.
on, hurry up." What?
Good for her.
She's really, she's so smart. I love that about her. She knows what's going on.
Did you see the new Jason Statham trailer that came out today?
What is it?
It's The Working Man.
The Working Man?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on Amazon.
On Amazon?
I think, maybe.
I love him.
But I thought of you when I saw that. I was like, oh, another one of Cindy's movies coming out.
I love that. I've watched so much more TV in the last, because I don't want to go outside, but the TV is just, and I can lip sync these commercials. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
And
Ozempic?
I hate them. Not Ozempic.
Cialis? Is it Cialis? What is
No,
Cialis the
I
blue
take
pill?
Trulicity is what. Yeah, that's not for diabetics.
Well, I remember like there was an alternative to Viagra, and I don't remember when you see the commercials. Like I get very confused by pharmaceutical commercials sometimes, because I always assume every single one is like a Viagra commercial. So if you go, well, I mean, like that was the one I would always see. So if I see something else, and I'm like, oh, these people are gonna get freaky in the garden, that's kind of weird. And then it's like, but no, it's for like some skin condition. I'm like, is this? But they're looking at each other like it's time. I'm kind of confused. So I always enjoy seeing every future pharmaceutical commercial. You always got to go into it. Oh, this is a Viagra commercial.
I think it's
Watch
like after 8 or 9 o'clock, all those come on. And
like even the colonoscopy one, or the colon one, where you poop in the box. I'm like, this is a Viagra commercial. That box is ready. He's ready. He's like, I'm gonna get up in there. You're gonna put.
They have. I keep trying to tell them, I didn't ask for you to send me this. Oh. They want me to do this. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I think we've talked about that.
Yes, we did. I think we did a whole show on it.
Because I was like, I really hope there's somebody who doesn't read the instructions, just opens it and just squats down.
And sends the box
back.
Just
a whole load. It's like, here's a whole load, guys. Oh, man. Oh, that's so funny. But
they act like, and I see why they do a cartoon character and they're going,
yeah. Well, people are really sensitive about that stuff. Like, if it's to me, every time if it has something to do with my health, like let's just get it over with. Like if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do.
Well, Bob Smiley, Rob said, I can't stand that commercial where that lady says, "Hey, we poop too. Women poop." It drove me crazy. But this is the commercial I can't stand. Can't stand the 3 women that are sitting in a dark room, and they take a ribbon and tie it over their eyes, and then this guy is squirting gravite on himself, and he walks through there, and she's like, "Oh, did he leave? Tell him to come back." Oh, but I can lip sync that one, and I can lip sync the one where he goes, "If you're a man over 40, you may look like this, but you could look like this."
Yeah.
That one, that's, anyone that's ever worked in television, I can remember it going like, oh, they've used a filter on this person and they've done this to them, and they, the after picture.
Yeah.
But that irritates that. I hate that commercial. I just, and they say that you could, I can imagine how many women have ordered that they said, because your skin will look so much younger and tighter and all that stuff. So would you do that? Would you try and, make yourself look younger whenever you get to be my age? You really don't think?
No, I had Dr. Winnie King in on my morning show. She's a plastic surgeon, and she does plastic surgery, but she also does like a little bit of holistic stuff. And I made a joke to her. I was like, "What would you do on my face?"
On your face?
And she's like, "Well, you have crow's feet. You have really bad crow's feet."
What?
Yeah, like around my eyes.
If you do that, yeah, but you can't see when you do that.
But I go, "You know what that's from?" She's like, "What?" It's like, "Because I smile all the time. So when I smile."
Oh.
And I was like, "And I don't want to forget that."
See.
And she looked at me and she goes, "That's a good point. You don't need to do that." I'm like, "Exactly." If I have crow's feet, it's because I smile all the time. And it's just a reminder that I smile.
And you don't have any wrinkles on your forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you do that.
I'm going to look like I basically told her I was going to turn into a troll. Like, I'm slowly turning into a troll.
You think you are?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Because, like, your nose and ears keep growing. And then, like, you get the nose hairs that, like, I swear I'm trimming my nose once a week now. It used to be, like, once a month. Now it's, like, it's slowly getting to the point where, like, oh, I have to, like, really pay attention to this now.
Oh? Yeah, especially
Because
out
I
of
think
the dating scene.
I think ear hair and nose hair are probably, like, the first thing people notice.
You think
that
so?
are gross. Like, because you might have a bad beard, but the bad beard is, you know, it's not a big deal. But if I'm talking to somebody and they got, like, a nose hair, I'm like, yo, that's a nose hair, man. And, like, the ear hair.
And you concentrate on that while they're talking.
Yeah, the ear hair is creeping me out.
Yeah. Yes, the people that don't realize it's there, or just don't care. At a certain age, just
I know.
not gonna care.
But I'm pretty sure for my entire life I will care about that.
You think so?
Because it's just, I don't know, it's too distracting when people are talking to you and they're like,
"You're so vain."
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, I want to get rid of my ear hair. But see, as you can tell, I have a really bushy eyebrows.
You think you do?
Well, I mean, they're thicker.
No.
They're thicker and they're arched, like they're big. So it's going to get even crazier. So like I said, troll. I'm going to become a troll.
No.
And I can't wait.
No, you're not. Well, then you need to start taking as many pictures as you can now, and then have that to look back on and say, "This is what I used to look like."
You're gonna love this. I ran into a guy at the bowling alley, and he's probably in his, I want to say, like 50s maybe. He looks good. He's very, like, he looks healthy. Actually, what he reminds me of is a guy who surfed all his life. So the sun and, like, this, you know, you can kind of see a person, but he hasn't stopped surfing, so he's in good shape. But he just looks like, you know, he got too close to the sun. On his phone, when he tries to pick up women, he tries to use a picture from his 20s. Because if you kind of squint at it, like first glance, you think it's him. Because he looks exactly the same, but just a little bit older, a little saggier. And it's like, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, that doesn't work. He's like, watch. And he goes there, he's like, hey, you know, you wouldn't believe it, but, like, you know, I work out. Look at that. And they would believe that's like a current picture of him. I'm like, you know, they don't believe that. Like, you totally look 30 years older.
That is that his name's not David Berryhill, is it?
No, actually, and then he probably put his phone number in the tip jar.
In the tip
And I was like, dude, that's awesome.
What was his number?
I don't know. I don't care.
You didn't save it for me?
No. Oh, I didn't know you're out on the prowl. 936-449-5952. That's a Wootton Financial.
Oh, what the? I thought you were giving it out. Don't do that. That's mean.
But yeah, it was really funny because he's like, every time I see him, he's hitting on a girl. And I'm like, this guy just doesn't quit.
Well, no, David Berryhill, I went to school with him, and so he's in his 70s. But he surfs all the time.
Yeah.
And he showed a picture of the surfboards, and he was getting ready. He says, this is probably my last surfing, tour to do. But he is in great shape.
Great shape, yeah. But again, like, if you are hanging out in the sun every day your entire life.
Yeah.
Because, it's funny. There was a study I was reading about long-distance runners. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know if you, like, growing up, when you were more, I would say, athletic, right? You had a lot of friends who, like, ran.
I ran.
Or you ran, right?
Yeah.
Well, you just went jogging. But then you have people who do, like, long-distance
running. Yeah.
So there's a difference between just...
Sure.
So what I'm about to say, don't get alarmed if you're a jogger. But they were talking about if you're a long-distance runner, like doing marathons and doing training, and, like, basically the bottom of the bar is marathons.
Yeah.
They said, like, if you did that for 10 years... your body looks like it aged 20.
Oh.
Because of, like, the damage it does to your skin, and because you're outside, and you're like, it's because
it makes you look older.
It makes you look older.
I'm glad I stopped that.
Well, no, jogging's not the same.
Oh,
Because you think about if you're training for a marathon, you're running at least 12 miles a day. So. They, like, if you do it for like 10 years, you might look great, as in, like, physically, but you're gonna look like you've been smoking cigarettes.
Well, See, that's what Nick Radcliffe said to me. We played racquetball together, and I saw him the other day. I hadn't seen him in years and years and years, and he said, "So how are your knees?" And I said, I said, "My knees, the only thing that bother me. It's hard. I can't believe." And he said, "That's from racquetball." And I went, "You know what? I never even thought about racquetball. I just thought you're getting old, you're losing the stuff in your knees that makes
cartilage.
Cartilage. Is that what you lose?" And I was going to go get a steroid shot, because that's what Sam would do. Sam would get, because he ran marathons and stuff, and he said that one shot would last him for a year, but you just have to keep doing it.
Oh, look, there's even a name for it. It's called runner's face.
Runner's face?
Yeah, it's a long distance runner's face. It's also referred as runner's face. Typically describes of having a gaunt, somewhat saggy appearance with potentially
Yes.
leathery, wrinkled skin.
No, that's true, because you're out in the
Repetitive impact of running and prolonged sun exposure.
yes,
So you're
yeah, and it puts
yeah.
and it makes it so it does age you, and that's funny. After all the running you did, Sam had a heart attack, and he went. All his friends would come visit him at the hospital, and he'd go, "What is this? I ran. How many years? 40 years of my life I ran, and I had a heart attack." But the guy that wrote Running, that's how he died. He died of a heart attack, and he.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good to find something that you enjoy doing, but then when you take it to that level, it's really. I mean, to me, that's awesome. I love people who take it to that level.
Yeah, but
then again, it's one of those things. You have to put so much time to it, and then one day get all in, and you're like, "Hey, what was the real goal there?"
Right. I ran all that I played. I never went anywhere.
Because I remember in track, when I was like in 8th grade, they were trying to see what we wanted to run. One guy has do the 100, do the 200, and then like anything over 500, I was like, no. And he was like, well, why not? And I'm like, I don't want to run that long. Like, I don't have any desire to run for 6 minutes. Like, that sounds terrible. And he's like, oh, you can't do it physically? Like, no, I could probably do it physically. It's just I'll be bored out of my mind and not fun for me.
In Memorial Park, did you ever go to Memorial
Yeah.
Park?
Oh, yeah.
I used to run.
I used to take those trails to go to my grandparents' house.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
they live.
they
Yeah,
live.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
right down Memorial.
that's where I would run, and I would do that. Like long time I did that, and so I got up to where I was doing 7-minute miles. It's
pretty
a
good.
3-mile thing. I was doing 7 minutes. I was clocking myself and doing all that stuff, and I came in and came up to my car, and this guy comes over and goes, "I was trying to catch up with you, and I couldn't catch up with you. What were you running?" I said, 7-minute miles. And he said, "Oh, that's probably why I couldn't catch up with you. Well, I just wanted to give you a kiss and tell you congratulations that you really ran a good race." And I said, oh, thank you so much. And so he said, "Can I just give you a kiss?" And I went,
I like this guy. He's going for it. Let's get to first base, baby.
and
Get to
so
first base on a walk.
He said, "Okay, if you don't want me to give you a kiss, you can give me a kiss right here." Now, I'd never seen this before, so stupid I am. And I started to give him a kiss, and he turned and gave me a kiss.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a classic move.
That's
Classic
like everybody
move.
grandpas do to the
I do it with my
kids.
butt.
You do it with your butt.
Yeah.
Richard. Wow. You never know what he's going to say.
I love
just
it.
saying, just,
Okay.
say no to crack. Okay. So anyway, that's what the running and thing, and I thought.
Well, I
it's
can't
kinda
imagine being a
scared me.
woman and working out. But I've always been blessed with any workout situation I want. I can always do the majority of it at home. Because I grew up in a house that always had workout equipment, like my brothers and stuff
you had
like
a
that.
Workout room.
Yeah. And then my dad was really heavily involved with the YMCA. So we always had free YMCA passes. So if we want to go swimming or whatever.
Oh, good grief. Well, today I was going to buy Samuel for Christmas to stand alone punching bag, from Academy.
Okay.
They have these and it's when it's like standalone. It's not.
I would just go on
the
Facebook
ceiling.
Marketplace.
What?
I would just go on Facebook Marketplace.
What do you mean?
Because I bet someone's trying to get rid of one. Are you talking about the one that you get to attach to the ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are really, like, you have to really attach them. You can't just...
Well, that's why I wanted to get the standalone that has
comes with a stand. You still have to. Those aren't the best.
They have to be
the best way to do
down. You have to not only put sand in the bag, you have to sand. To keep them still. So
I would just do it in the garage.
So we went over to Academy and we looked at them
and
priced them and all that stuff, and then we're riding down the street yesterday and Samuel goes, "Look," and it goes boxing fitness gym. And so I told him today, I said, "You want to go by and look at it before we do anything with this, trying to bring this thing out to the garage?" And he said, "Yeah, let's go see it." So we went, and it's in the back. It's in the back of all these buildings, and it's huge gym. And so we walked in, and I went, I can smell it from here. And I said, let's go just see. Let's just look, and then let's leave. So we opened the door, and it looked like a movie set. It looked like a Rocky movie set. They have a big, what do you call it? Ring.
Yeah.
So like really professional stuff. And then they have a smaller ring. And so, and all this different equipment, and all these guys working out and shadow boxing and everything. It was so cool. And so this guy
found one for $50.
Huh?
Found one for $50.
Well,
Montgomery, Texas. Boom. I'm already like, those are things that are expensive.
Well, this is it's like
$200.
I could get out of there with the stand, the bag, and the gloves, and something else that came with it. Anyway, and it was like for $206 during Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I was going to do that, but he likes this. He went like, I can come here. It's just right down the street from us. I can come here like every day, and it was like $65 a month, and you work out. And so it would be cheaper to put it in the garage, but I don't know how. You're right, because if he hits that too hard, that the whole thing go over. And
no, the reason I know that is my cousin boxes, and I remember when we were younger, like 16, his dad got him one with a stand, and we lived really close to each other, so I go over to his house, and I remember he's a big dude, and he was just hammering it.
Right.
And then it fell over, and it like cracked the concrete. The stand did.
Oh,
because like it was the angle or whatever,
yeah,
and his dad was so mad, but he wasn't mad. And then he's like, "We're just gonna chain it to the beams in the garage."
Yeah.
So as long as I've known him, he's always had a punching bag, and he's always just chained it to one of the beams, like 2 or 3 of the beams.
Well, they were exposed beams though, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you're in the garage. There's
no exposed beams in my garage.
Really?
No.
Well, you just find them and then you just drill into them.
Well.
And then you can hook it and unhook it.
Is that the stud finder?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not your eyes. It's a different type of stud finder.
Okay. Oh, well, it's the same. Yeah, but that's very much. Anyway, so that's what I was gonna do. But this thing looks great, and so he's so excited. He was so excited. He's got to do this, and he may be going to work for Freddy's. Have you heard of Freddy's?
The fast food joint?
Yeah.
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 You should go to In-N-Out Burger. I went there this weekend in the Woodlands.
In the Woodlands?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been to one of those.
We went inside. It was nice. I never had it. It was good.
Was it good?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I have no idea how much it costs because I didn't pay for it. That's the one thing I probably should have done. But
who paid for that?
My buddy. He offered. And I was like, sure, I guess we're over here. Might as well. And then I realized how crazy it is. Like, it's just packed.
Yeah.
So he went inside because I told him, like, I don't wait in line. Like, I'm not a wait person. So.
Here's the deal. And if I say this, anybody listening that's over 60 might remember, is the wagon wheel that you go burger place. And that was what all the kids went to. and it was just like in the movies, like in the 50s movies, when all the kids are out there and they're playing this music and they're dancing and all that, and those were the best hamburgers I think I'd ever tasted. But they were, it was a place like you really do. It's a place that's really, it's so much fun, and you feel like everybody that's there is like family. Everybody came from the same school and all that stuff. So I love those kind of places. I don't think there are any more like that. There's not like drive-ins, Princess Drive-In, those kind of places.
But it just depends where you go.
Have you been to a drive-in lately? They have
like
still
Sonic?
have drive-ins. What?
Like no, there's a couple. There's a here.
Sonic.
There's a place. Let me show you.
I guess Sonic would be.
I always stop on the way home from
Sonic. And they don't wear.
I would stop on the way back from Abilene. It's called Storm's Hamburgers.
What's it called?
It was on 36. Storm Hamburgers.
I never heard of that. Oh, that's cool looking.
Let's
Are
see.
you showing the people at home?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna work. Let's see. I'm trying to find like a good picture of it.
Well, that's a nice picture. I mean, that makes you.
But I mean, it's a typical burger
Oh, there you
joint,
go.
and they had like you can park and sit like outside, or they'll come to your car and give it to you.
Well, the best place for a hamburger in Conroe is
that.
what? What do you think?
See,
Oh, that's cool.
so driving, yeah, it's cool.
What do you think where you can get the best hamburger in Conroe?
It depends on what you're looking for. Like if you want something greasy and
Yeah,
good,
greasy.
like and fast, I would go to Burger Boy down here off of 105 East.
You don't think Five Brothers?
Five Guys? No.
Five Guys.
Too.
Five
No,
Guys.
it's a locally owned, really good. Like that's a hamburger joint. And if you want like a fancy hamburger, like they're probably Burger Fresh. It's probably like the fancy good. Like you're gonna spend $15 to $18 for a hamburger, but it's really good.
What about McAllister's?
Like you mean McKenzie's or McAllister? McAllister's a deli sandwich
That's a
place.
deli. No, McKenzie. Yeah,
It's all right. It's good. They have cheap. They have like one day a week they do something that's like really affordable. It's like $8 or something like that.
Well, their hamburgers are that thick.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
But Burger Boy is really good. It's always a good, like if you want greasy, like old school hamburger.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Burger Fresh or World's Burger off 105 for a big, because World's Burger is one of those places that has like you can't just get a cheeseburger. You got to order like the California Dreamin', which is it comes with figs and avocado.
Avocados.
You know, like, but then they have other ones. They have like the Volcano.
Well, that's
And it's
what
like ribs on top of a thing, and then it's like it comes like has hot sauce and like that. It's just ridiculous. Like the burger, it's a meal in itself, and it's weird.
Well,
Or a 3-course meal in itself because it always
And then
has
by itself?
it always has some other extra stuff. It's weird. Every time I go there, my mother likes going there because she likes their onion rings. She's really particular about. My mom's really particular about her onion ring. It's really weird, but she
Well,
likes them there.
has she been to Mia's table?
What's Mia's table?
Mia's table. Mia's
But my favorite burger joint is in Houston. It's Southwell's.
is which
It's called Southwell's. It's like the most generic hamburger place, but I grew up going there, so it's very sentimental. So every time I go to Houston, I try to stop by. There's 2 or 3 locations. The Fountain View one is still there, and that's the one.
Fountain
That's
View.
the one I went to
that's where
because you live
I
down
met
the street,
Sam.
and that was like the go-to place after a baseball game.
on Three Fountains, the apartments, Three Fountains, are they still there?
They're probably burned down
Because
because there was a big apartment complex right across from there, and it was burnt, and that's where the new HEB is.
oh,
And I always had the theory that HEB burned it down,
so they could build
so they could build an HEB there because it's a nice HEB.
What a good theory.
Mia's Table, yeah, I've heard of this place.
And then Gloria's is next to it.
Is it good?
Mia's Table's good, but Gloria's,
Oh
you-
wow! So this place is
You gotta
nuts.
save
That
some
chicken
money
salad
up.
sandwich looks ridiculous.
Yeah, is that Mia's?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at
the
it.
chicken. Yes, chicken fried. Great gravy. Oh, the gravy is good. and their
I
mashed
don't want to see
potatoes?
this salad. Get this salad out of here. That looks good. I'm gonna go try. I'm gonna tell my mom. I'm taking my mom there.
Oh, okay. And then take her to Gloria's and save up your money.
What's Gloria's?
It's right next to it. Gloria's. G-L-O-R-I-A. Gloria's.
Oh, no, I do not want to go here. It looks way
You
too
don't like
fancy.
Latin food?
Ooh, they have salsa night, though. Let's pick up some chicks. Nice.
See, there you go. There you go.
Gloria's nightlife. What is that supposed to mean?
Gloria's.
Is this one of those swinger clubs?
No, it is. It's so bougie. We went after church and went there, and
Dress codes enforced. This is
that's
great.
why they were looking at me like, okay,
Interesting.
you.
They have dancing. So, it's not locate. Let's see what location they even have it here. Yeah, it's not this location. The dancing. Because I would go to that. Go salsa night. Oh yeah, that'd be so much fun.
Can you dance the salsa?
I'd try. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but
Richard.
they have one in Houston in Midtown. That's where they have the dancing. Saturday from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Oh, it's my favorite time. It's called bedtime.
You don't still stay up for late, do you?
It just depends.
Oh,
Like on Tuesdays I do because I get home from the bowling alley at like 10. I get home around 11, and I'm like I can't sleep.
we had to find out before we close out. We had to find out what is the temperature outside because I may slip all.
Do you want me to walk you to your car? Because I have to walk to the bank.
It's 42. Do you want me to take you to the bank?
No, I'd rather walk.
Okay, it's 42. In the rain.
I'll walk you. It's not
raining.
gonna ice over.
No, it's not. It's 42.
Yeah, it's not gonna ice over. You're gonna be fine.
But I thought it was dry. It feels like it's 30. It says it's 42, but it feels like it's 30.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't it ice over if it feels like it's 30?
Because it's not 30 degrees.
Well, I mean, if it,
There's the reason they say that is probably because of the wind it's up, and so it's like, hey, if it was just a still 42, there you go. But if there's wind, it's gonna add a little.
Well, at least there's. I think I can get down the steps because it has the railings, and then
Also
it
walk you to your
has
car.
the handicap place. You go. I'm parked in the handicap place. It said 30 minutes only, so I don't know if I have a ticket or anything when I get out there. But you have to pay for the ticket. If I do.
No way! I told you not to do that.
The city of Conroe. Yeah, but too late. I'm already parked there.
Yeah, I'll tell them because they got rid of all your handicap parking.
Yes, they did.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you
Anyway,
next week.
See you next week. You guys be careful, stay warm, and enjoy your weekend. So, first responders, we love you so much. And there was a first responder sitting out in front of HEB, and I went over and knocked on the glass, and he put us. I said, I just want to tell you thank you so much for everything you do, and that how much we appreciate you. And he was so happy. He said, I love hearing from the people. And I'm standing there in Samuel's basketball shorts and a jacket on, and it's freezing. And I said, well, I just wanted to let you know that. And he says, well, listen, next time you want to tell me that, be sure and stop me and say hi. Anyway, so he kept talking. I am freezing. I said, you know what? People are probably wondering why I'm standing here talking to the police officer in his car, and I'm standing out here in my grandson's basketball shorts. He went, oh, he looked over he said, yeah, you need to get inside. Go. So anyway, you guys call someone you love, and if you see a police officer out there, go over there and shake his hand and say thank you for being here, or any first responder. All right.
Suck
love
up.
you. Thank you, Chris Wootton. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. We love you for that. So call somebody you love.